Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contract, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Money Podcast, your source for all things money. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Chad Willardson on the line. He's president of Pacific Capital, and he's the author of the best-selling book, Stress-Free Money, Overcome the 7 Obstacles to Find Financial Freedom. Chad, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Great to be here.
All right, man. So first off, as the day that we're recording this, October 1st, 2020, I see that you're #1 in new releases on Amazon in financial risk management. First off, just congrats on getting to #1. That's a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we got a couple financial categories in there. Very, very excited and humbled by the initial response. Just been 2 days, so it's starting off well.
Man, that's exciting, and I'm excited to get into the book, and we're going to do a deep dive into that. And for all my listeners that have been following me for a long time, you know I love helping authors sell books and helping support them, because it's not an easy thing to become a published author and to get your work out there. So I definitely want everyone to go out there and pick up a copy of this. But before we get into the book, Chad, I want to give the audience a little bit more on your background, so it kind of sets the stage for the book. So tell us a little bit more about what you're doing over at Pacific Capital.
Yep. At Pacific Capital, we are a fiduciary wealth advisory team that primarily works with entrepreneurs and families. You know, our main focus, our mission is we want to help you enjoy life by removing your stress about money. So we really are going to get deep into the different financial aspects that you're facing, everything from cash flow to investment strategy, retirement planning, taxes, insurance, debt. We're going to dig deep and make sure that everything in your financial life is coordinated and aligned and working together. So that's really our focus.
All right. So I think it's a great transition too. So let's just dive into this book. So what was the inspiration for writing this?
You know, the reason I wrote Stress-Free Money is because I truly believe that everyone deserves to have more clarity and more confidence in their financial life. I feel like people are overwhelmed and intimidated or anxious and stressed just with all the uncertainties out there in the world, especially 2020. You look at all the things happening. You've got the COVID situation this year. You've got all kinds of geopolitical things. You've got an election coming up. There's just a lot of outside factors that could cause a lot of stress. And so the goal in writing this book is to give people some tangible principles and insights that could help them have a more stress-free relationship with their money.
Man, that's awesome. So the book, first off, and again, awesome that you got to #1 in terms of new releases, but I could see the way that the book is laid out, and I don't want to, for the audience, obviously, we're not going to have time to go into all of the chapters and all the content. And if we did have time, by the way, we wouldn't. Why? Because we like helping authors sell books, so you better go on Amazon and pick up a copy of this. But absolutely. But I do want to touch on some of the things in here. So let's just start with, I know the book is laid out in 7 sections. Let's cover at least one of them So no clear goals. Tell us a little bit more about how you start out the book with that section.
Yeah, so one of the main obstacles we see that's common is that people come in with no clear goals. You know, they don't know exactly what they want. So because they don't know what they want, they really don't know what the next steps are in their financial life. It would be like deciding to pack your suitcase and you don't know where you're going on vacation and you don't know when you're leaving. and you don't know where you're leaving from, so how do you even know what to pack? I think most people feel like that in their financial life. They don't know where they're going. They haven't set a clear destination. Excuse me. And because of that, because they don't know where they're going and when they want to get there, they don't know what to pack. And so they're kind of left aimlessly running around and just hoping things work out.
So let's get into, I love these topics, by the way, financial fast food. Tell me more about this one.
Yeah, financial fast food to us is, fast food is really convenient. It's cheap. It's everywhere. And financial fast food is similar to the financial entertainment news. That is the alerts, the articles, the news headlines, talking heads, essentially all the noise and the unhealthy information out there to consume that could lead you to make bad decisions. So we talk about some of the tips and insights for people that they could really detach themselves from unimportant noise and avoid being misinformed. So there's a lot of, I guess, financial noise out there, especially with the financial entertainment news that distracts people, really distracts people. So we want to keep you on a healthy diet of knowing exactly where you should look for good advice and what you should avoid.
So I know that there is there's many things that you want the audience to take from this book and the readers, but I do like to give the audience just a feel for some of the flavor of the content. So can you share like a story or like something specifically from the book, just so that they get a feel for like your writing style and the way that you present the content? Because I know it's not it's not a boring book. Put it that way. Sometimes people think financial books or this that they're like, oh, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Financial book. But I think your way of presenting the format is really entertaining. So give us a story from it.
So I'll tell you a story, real life here. I have 3 younger sisters. They're all very bright and talented, and none of them have any kind of financial books on their reading list. Let's put it that way. They're not interested really. But one of my younger sisters, she read the book and she said, "Chad, I actually really like this book. I actually couldn't put it down. It was very interesting. It wasn't full of jargon or, complex things or charts or anything like that." And I like to use stories and analogies in the book to help teach a principle. So I kept it very simple. I think you will learn from it whether you're very sophisticated or whether you're just starting out, just because of the style. So in the book, I really lay out the 7 obstacles to financial freedom. And I talk about some of the stories and insights over my past 20 years of advising entrepreneurs and families and what I've seen, those who were successful and those who were unsuccessful. And my hope is that you'll go in and you'll be able to relate to some of those stories and some of those ideas. And I'm sure you will, because they're very common things that we can relate to. One of the stories I talk about when I'm discussing investing in getting different sources of cash flow. We talk about getting a variety of trees planted in your financial garden. You want to have shade and fruit in your future, and the best time to plant a tree was 30 years ago, and the second best time is today. There's no point, if you're going to plant 30 trees, you don't want 30 apple trees. You want trees that are going to blossom and bloom and produce fruit during different seasons. And so you can have a wide variety of essentially of your fruit and crops and shade in the future. And so we talk about planting those seeds now, those different financial decisions where you can plant seeds that will eventually blossom into cash flow. And we talk about nourishing the seeds that you've already planted. So there's great opportunity for you to start today, no matter what stage of life you're in, and start planting and nourishing some investment seeds that will grow into some great cash flow in the future. And that's a topic that most people are interested in. They're looking at, where can I get income from in the future when I'm not working?
No, I love it. I think it makes a lot of sense. I love this analogy of planting trees. I'm like, yeah, you're right. 30 years ago or today, like one of the two. Like, but get it going, right? Like, there's no procrastination is not the best time. You got to get this stuff going. I love it.
That's right.
So, Chad,
That's right.
So that being said, if somebody is listening to this right now or watching on YouTube and they want more information on working with you and your team, or to pick up a copy of the book, I mean, two-part question for working with your team. What's typically a good fit to work with you and your team, and how do they follow up?
Yeah, so to work with our team, first of all, the business is Pacific Capital, and our website is pacificcapital.com. If you go to pacificcapital.com, you can click on, there's lots of opportunities to schedule a goals conversation. Goals conversation is a free 20 to 30-minute chat. It's basically a time for us to get to know you and for you to get to know us and to see if there's a fit. There's no cost for it. There's no obligation. It's really going to be just a mutual discovery interview. Best fit for us is really someone with typically it's entrepreneurs or families. It's people who are busy, who have a lot going on, who have people they care about, people who are goal-focused, who like planning, who are interested in improving their financial life. People who are not a good fit for us, that might be a better question, is those who are trying to make a quick buck, people who are seeking get rich quick, people who are looking to completely do all of their own financial planning or investment trading, and they're sometimes people say, I do enough research on my own, I'm kind of smarter than the experts. That's okay. That's great. Maybe you'll just want to read the book and not schedule a call, but people who are looking to have a fiduciary on their team, seeking fiduciary advice and that independent and objective voice to give them some financial guidance. That's who we're a great fit for.
Perfect. Well, Chad, really appreciate you coming on the show today. And I know I've been talking about Amazon, but is there somewhere else you want to direct people for the site, or is Amazon the best route for the book?
Yeah, to buy the book, Amazon's the best spot. And then to schedule with us, you can just literally go to pacificcapital.com. If you want to connect and engage and kind of get a feel for my content, I'm very active on LinkedIn. I post daily there. So LinkedIn is a great place to find me as well. I'd love to hear from you.
Awesome. Well, Chad, really appreciate you coming on the show today and sharing more about your background. And congrats again, all the success with the book. Definitely want my audience to go out there and check it out. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store. And if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Money, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Chad, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.